we are in San Francisco at the Polaris Lounge. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour here. We just got in from London and first time in this lounge. Let's go take a look at it. So having just come off an international flight from London Heathrow into San Francisco, decided to visit the Polaris Lounge. The Polaris Lounge is United's flagship lounges. I've been to every single one of them except for this one in San Francisco, so I thought I'd give it a quick look. And as I walked up, it was pretty impressive from the start. There was plenty of seating there. It seemed to be kind of a quiet time on a beautiful day in San Francisco. Had all of your coffee laid out, all your other drinks that you might want. And I went over to take a look at the shower suites and the quiet rooms there. I didn't go in because I didn't want to disturb anybody and I didn't need a shower, but it was still nice just to go take a quick peek so you could have a look at what it looks like in San Francisco. I have to say, as I walked back through the lounge, suddenly I wasn't so impressed. I looked at the food selection. It looked like it had been set out there for days. There was food on the countertops that hadn't been wiped up, pasta hanging out of the bowls there, and just a mess. It was really, really unappetizing. Salad all over the place. Obviously, it hadn't been wiped up. I don't know if there was a staff shortage or what was going on, but I've never seen one of the lounges that looked like this. Normally it's very impressive with a very delicious looking layout for you. The dining room, I really had no desire to eat, but the food in the dining room is normally very good. But once again, I noticed dirty plates that were sitting in there that hadn't been cleaned up at empty tables. So it was really a bit of a shocker for me, I have to say, because United normally keeps their stuff very spotless. This wasn't the case in this particular lounge. I have to say, staff there wasn't very friendly either, with the exception of the bartender. Cute little girl who is just absolutely a sweetheart and would do anything to give me service. By the way, speaking of the bar, if you do want to get a drink in the Polaris Lounge, there is no shortage of some of the finest liquors that you could possibly get. I wish I would have had her take her mask off to get that smile I know was under there. Anyway, continued walking around, looking, nice seating areas. The floors still didn't look like they'd been vacuumed or cleaned up, which really kind of just bothered me. For what you're paying to be in these lounges with those business class tickets international, they should be in tip-top shape. This was a first for me. They have quiet rooms there if you want to do some computer work and get away from all of the noises. And all the restrooms, they're all private ones. You're not sharing with anybody else. It's not a massive restroom. And very, very nice inside. Those were all clean, at least the one that I went into. So, it was time to head on down to the gate, and enough of my complaining about the lounge. Let's see what they had to say about our flight, which was going to be on a 737. We started boarding on time, and I was in group number 1, and by the time I got to go down the jetway, it was packed. I don't know what the delay was on there, but I cut out most of it. We did stand for quite a while. Got onto the cabin, and it was nice to see those big, comfortable seats that United does have on these domestic first-class flights. Very, very comfortable with a nice pitch. They got power down there at the bottom. You can plug right in, so you're not going to be short if you need to charge your devices when you're in the air. This one, we were on the 737-800, 900. Another thing I noticed right off the bat was the flight attendants. The flight attendants were very, very friendly with a warm greeting when I came on board, which was very nice. Always makes you know that your flight is probably going to start out right and it's going to be good all the way through. We got our welcome aboard cocktail, had a little glass of champagne before we departed, and we sat and waited for everybody to get on board. And then finally, it was time for pushback and ready to head out to the runway. Again, I've been to San Francisco a number of times. It's very rare you get days like this. So once we got up to altitude, the cocktail service immediately started, or drink service. I decided to try their fabulous Bombay Blue Sapphire Gin, and we indulged in some tasty drinks. Now this flight is only about an hour and a half. You can see we had a very happy cabin there. So they really don't feed you, and I got no complaints about that. They did come by with a basket of probably some of the most unhealthy things that you can eat. But you know what? When you're up at 30,000 feet and you got a gin and tonic next to you, you might as well try some of the skinny popcorn or the pretzels, which I decided to go with. Very, very good service on this flight. Offered more drinks. Just one was enough for me. And there, an hour and a half later, we were heading into Arizona. We started our descent, and again, just like San Francisco, it was absolutely gorgeous. So I want to say there's not a whole lot to rate on the flight, except for the flight attendants and the service that they provided. And that was absolutely fabulous. It made an end of my holiday really great, from being over in London and that evening coming into Phoenix, Arizona. So I hope you enjoyed watching Pat's Adventures, and please take a look at my channel. And if you have the time or the inkling, please subscribe and hit that like button. Thanks again, and take care.